Welcome back. I want to talk a little midterm politics. We got Barack Obama on the trail, but let me start with Elon Musk. He's taken over Twitter. He's now fact-checking and responding and acting like somebody who wants to dabble in a lot of Twitter memes, some of which may not be very factual. What does Congress want to do about Elon?
Well, Senator Klobuchar, who you had on, does have a bill on social media companies that we could see some action on in the future. But he is a figure that Democrats kind of love to hate a little bit beforehand, and I think they're going to love to hate a lot more now. I think he could be a punching bag, at least if the Democrats keep the Senate. Republicans are thrilled about having someone who seems like one of their own. I mean, Elon has said he wants to vote for Ron DeSantis. House Republicans have really embraced him in a major way. But I think this probably drives the wedge between Twitter and real life and normal people that much further.
And I was just going to say, is this a way where it's going to flip Twitter a little bit, where the left runs away from Twitter because of Musk and the right runs toward it?
Yeah, we might see something really weird.
Yeah.
I mean, we're used to seeing weird things nowadays, but I honestly don't know if there is the appetite to get this done in the next month. There's a lot of things that Congress has to do. Maybe it does because Democrats will realize they still have the majority for a month to try and pass that bill, but it's unlikely. It might be something that the next Congress might actually have to deal with, and who knows what's going to happen then on Twitter by that point.
And in terms of the effect of Twitter, we really don't know. I mean, Elon Musk says the reason that he gave for buying this doesn't make any sense. This is not an open marketplace of ideas. It is a private media company. It is something that it doesn't work that way. Also, he has fought with Trump. So this idea that the right is going to suddenly rush there may not pan out at all, particularly if that fight continues. So I think none of us know what we're in for.
It's a terrible business. It does seem financially a mistake by Musk.
Well, it's one thing we know is 100% of journalists will stay on Twitter. That's the one thing we'll be conditioned.
That's okay.
I think Elon Musk's ownership of it's going to be very interesting. There's an article in The Verge this week that I found interesting of what's going to happen when China resists Elon Musk in China, because Tesla does a lot of business in China. Which will he pick? I think there are a lot of foreign policy questions going to come up.
How about the federal government, who's in bed with him on Starlink, in bed with him on SpaceX, and all of this, and need him for our space program? Who's got more leverage, Garrett?
That's an excellent question. I mean, the SpaceX contracts with the federal government are enormous. I mean, Elon Musk is a space billionaire first and I guess a media company billionaire second. But we'll see. I mean, he didn't get to be a billionaire by being bad at making financial decisions. Presumably, you got to give him some benefit of the doubt that he knows what he's doing here. But he's got very strange bedfellows now.
All right, let's spend the last minute here on the get out the vote efforts. We're seeing Barack Obama on the trail. Kimberly, what do you make of it? Sometimes you see him and it's a reminder that he's probably the one Democrat that can fire up the base, not the current elected Democrats. Yeah,
the Democrats hope that he's the closer. I mean, I talked to two people yesterday just in regular conversations, like, Barack Obama's so good at this. And I think that's what they're counting on, especially for that youth vote. At the Emancipator, we talk about the other swing vote, which is the young people who are choosing either vote Democratic or not vote at all. And that could be the game changer in the midterms.
Brad, what's interesting about Donald Trump is it looks like he listened to consultants. He's going to Northwest Iowa. He's going to Republican areas in Ohio, Latrobe, Pennsylvania. He helps in those unique ways, doesn't he?
I think there's a chance he could stimulate turnout, but Republicans don't have a turnout problem. Republican enthusiasm is really high. And I think on the youth vote question for Democrats, I see a lot of polling. It's the only age group Democrats are carrying on the generic ballot.
That's what we showed in our.
That's not an age problem. That's a platform problem. Democrats have to calibrate their platform to win older voters.
All right, guys. It's going to be quite a week and quite a final 9 days. That's all we have for today. Thanks for watching. I am contractually obligated not to take a position on Bills versus Packers, so I won't do that today. I just want a good game. We're going to be back next week because if it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.